This is the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News, where we present some of the top stories from this week and your weekend weather forecast. I'm Amber Jenks. Stay tuned for the weekend edition of iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News, your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
One of our top stories for this week was about Quincy's National Night Out, where residents had the chance to meet with the police officers and get to know their neighbors. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
Hundreds turned out Monday night in Quincy to celebrate National Night Out. The annual family event was organized by Quincy High School seniors for their senior project and Quincy Youth Action. Set at the Ryman Simmons House Park grounds, it was where you could see the fire-breathing Elbow the Clown. Grant County Public Utility District linemen demonstrated the dangers of high-voltage electricity by frying a hot dog and torching a kite. Warning, don't try this at home. Quincy Police Chief Bob Heimbach explained the essence of National Night Out.
I like to tell people it's always good to meet your officers when the blue and red lights aren't involved.
Kids slid down an inflatable bounce house with a big splash or tossed balls to dunk someone in the water tank. You could adopt a cute puppy at the Quincy Animal Shelter booth. Kids walked for a cupcake and competed in potato sack races. Quincy High School cheerleaders painted kids' faces. Food, which included hot dogs, french fries, and snow cones, was donated. Food and beverages were provided by Amway, Microsoft, Dell, and Yahoo, among other Quincy businesses.
This isn't just the police doing this. This is the whole city and our youth. Basically, all the food was donated. All of the drinks were donated. Where companies couldn't pay, they stepped up and bought condiments, brought us money to pay for stuff. I think we're probably spending twice what we were budgeted.
Chief Heimbach said almost all of his 18 officers were on hand to meet and greet neighbors.
National Night Out, I mean, it's the kickoff for Crime Prevention Week for neighborhoods. Get to know your neighbors, neighborhood block watch, know who's on your block, and for the police department, for me, it's a really good opportunity to reconnect with all of our citizens in a environment where we're just all, sharing hot dogs. Really kind of taking the mystique and fear out of what a police officer is, that we're just part of the community too. And it's important for all of us to step up and be part of solving whatever a community is battling.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
Representatives from Mitsubishi took a tour this week at the Grant County International Airport as the company prepares to test its newest passenger jet in Moses Lake. Reporter Devin Higgins has the details.
It was a busy day at the Grant County International Airport as representatives from Mitsubishi Aircraft Corporation were in Moses Lake to meet with port executives and take a tour along with members of the international media. Mitsubishi begins flight testing their newest passenger jet, the MRJ, at the airport starting in the fall, and construction of the 65,000 square foot hangar which will house them is almost complete. Among the local dignitaries in attendance were Representative Tom Dent, Mayor Dick Dean, and members of the City Council. The festivities included a bus tour of the airport, providing the Japanese media a chance to see the runway and its services. Board Executive Director Jeffrey Bishop said it was a chance to put Grant County on the international stage as a busy and growing location.
We've been very pleased with the turnout and the attention that we've gotten from the international media, specifically from Japan. It's a very good day for Grant County International Airport and the Moses Lake community. We've had a couple branches of the military so far. We're pretty excited about the military's participation in Grant County International Airport, and we think it's going to be a really good partnership opportunity for us to forge with Mitsubishi as well.
Mitsubishi Aircraft President Hirofumi Takahashi was on hand to see the progress of the hangar and talked about why his company chose Moses Lake for its testing ground.
Because there are so many reasons. One of the reasons, Moses Lake has a very long runway. Longest runway is 4,116 meters. And that is very good for flight test. And also, Moses Lake is a sister city of Yonezawa in Yamagata. We are feeling Moses Lake people is supporting Moses Lake people or like Japan and supporting Japanese project. So that is also a good reason for us to select Moses Lake as our flight test facility.
At the Grant County International Airport, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be right back after this.
My name is Kat Sanderson, Managing Broker for Pillar Rock Realty Group. We love the Columbia Basin because it's our home, and we want to give back to our community by kicking off our Pay It Forward campaign. If you buy or list with us, we will donate 1% of our total proceeds to a local charity of your choice and in your name. Call us today at 754-4444 or visit pillarrockrealty.com because we are your local real estate experts.
Now for your iFIBER 1 News Weather Center forecast.
Hello everyone, I'm Cristina Sanchez with your local weather, brought to you by Barry Motors, one great place to buy and service a car. We do have an upper level low pressure system that is moving away off to the east. This will bring a drier air mass. There's also a deep trough in the upper levels of the atmosphere are to our west that is bringing that westerly flow, but as it moves off to the east for tomorrow, it'll bring in drier air mass and also it'll increase our temperatures for Friday afternoon and for the weekend. Throughout the last 24 hours, we did start off the day in the upper 50s for us here in iFIBER, close to that seasonably low temperature, which is in the low 60s, and today's high in the mid 80s. We'll feel that change in temperatures for tomorrow will be right around 90 degrees, which is seasonably warm for this time of year. For us here in iFIBER, our record high temperature for this time of year was set back in 1972 and it was 103. Our sunset is at 8:24. For you in Moses Lake, your low temperature today right at that average low temperature for this time of year in the upper 50s. Your high temperature in the mid 80s as well. And your record high temperature for this date was set back in 1972 and the high was 103. Right now, currently, we do have those comfortable temperatures still on the warm side in the low 80s. Winds blowing from the south between 5 to 10 miles an hour. I do expect for those winds to weaken as we go into the next 24 hours. Within the past 24 hours, we've had those winds in the Tri-City area right around up to 20 miles an hour. But for us, dry conditions will continue throughout the overnight hours into Friday afternoon within our Columbia Basin. There is a deep upper level trough that will move off to the east, and it will allow for that southerly flow to move in, bringing that increase in temperature, drier air mass for us here in the Columbia Basin. High temperatures will be closer to seasonably warm temperatures. Now along the coast, there is a slight chance of showers for you on Sunday morning and also in higher elevations, but for us I do expect to stay dry Sunday afternoon in the Tri-Cities. I expect slight chance of showers and also going into Monday, but for Friday, plenty of sunshine in the Tri-City area as well as in the Yakima with highs in the low 90s, low 80s in Seattle with plenty of sunshine, and the inland northwest high temperatures for Friday not bad at all in the mid 80s and plenty of sunshine. As we take a closer view within our Columbia Basin, I do expect to have high temperatures closer to seasonably warm temperatures. Our average high is 90 degrees, and for us here in iFIBER, our high temperature for Friday afternoon will be in the upper 80s. Also for you in Moses Lake, Royal City, high temperatures will be right around 90 degrees with plenty of sunshine. For this weekend, within our Columbia Basin, I expect to stay dry with highs right around 90 degrees, and we'll start up the next work week with more cloud cover, low temperatures in the low 60s.
To save some energy, I've used Einstein's mass energy equivalents to design the haptic suits you see in front of you. They will maintain our core body temperature while we completely turn off our heat and air conditioning. With the money we save on our Grant PD bill, I'll be expecting that trip to Disneyland this year.
You don't need to be a super genius to save energy and money. Visit grantpud.org to learn how.
The Apple Sox wrapped up their last home stand of the 2015 season. We were able to catch the second game of their three-game series with the Walla Walla Sweets on Wednesday. Here's Sean Wells with the story.
It was a beautiful night for a ball game in Wenatchee with the Apple Sox hosting the Walla Walla Sweets. The Sox were looking for a bounce-back win after a tough loss in the opening game of the series. Wenatchee's best hitter, Keston Ayera, kept things going in the first inning with this monster triple in the center field. This was Keston's 5th triple of the season. He now holds a single-season record for doubles, total bases, and triples. Walla Walla held a 2-0 lead into the 4th until the Sox knocked 3 runs across in the bottom frame. The Sweets scored in the 6th, tying the game, but in the bottom of the 6th, Wenatchee scored 2 more runs off a Walla Walla error. Wenatchee held on to take the contest 5-3 and even the 3-game series. Evan Douglas finished 3 for 5 at the plate, while Colton Loomis picked up the save for the Apple Sox. For iFIBER 1 News, Sean Wells.
The Senior Babe Ruth World Series kicks off in Klamath Falls Saturday. The River Dogs have performed on the big stage numerous times over the years and look to bring home championship hardware for the first time in nearly 2 decades. Sean Wells has the story.
After winning the Pacific Northwest Regional Qualifier in Calgary, Alberta, the Columbia Basin River Dogs qualified for the Senior Babe Ruth World Series in Klamath Falls, Oregon. This is the 14th time in the River Dogs' 22-year history they will be competing in the World Series. River Dogs skipper Randy Boroff likes playing down in Klamath Falls and can't wait to get his team down there.
We've had wonderful memories at Klamath Falls. We won the regional tournament in 1998, right before we won the World Series. And in 2013, we won the regional tournament in Klamath Falls and went to Alabama. And so we're hoping that 2015 is a special year for us.
The World Series begins Saturday, August 8th. Coach Boroff likes his team's chemistry as his players prepare for a championship run.
This was special. We have a lot of young kids on our team, and so we get to play and practice for today. Well, we leave a week from tomorrow, so and then we got 3 days before we play. So we got 11 days of being together.
One player looking to have a big tournament is Ephrata's own Josh Kallstrom. Josh plays first base for the River Dogs and will be playing for Coach Doman up at Big Bend next season. Josh is a great offensive player, but says his defense is what has really improved playing for the River Dogs.
This year, actually, my defense, I feel like has come a lot farther than in the past. I've been really excited about that. My hitting, it's kind of been on and off, so I also hope to improve in that, but I've really been happy with my defense.
For iFIBER 1 News, Sean Wells.
Have a great weekend, all, and go River Dogs. We'll be right back after this break.
You don't have to drive to Seattle for exceptional cancer care. Confluence Health's cancer program delivers world-class care close to home. We have a highly experienced oncology team in a state-of-the-art facility, and we're a member of the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, which gives our patients access to world-renowned therapies developed at Fred Hutchinson, the University of Washington Medicine, and Seattle Children's. Together with the SCCA, we're delivering world-class cancer care close to home.
Our next story is about a longtime Moses Lake family which recently sold their business to enjoy more time together. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
It was an emotional time this week for the Asfour family who found the American dream in Moses Lake. John and Sarah Asfour sold and left behind the Moses Lake gas station and convenience store they toiled to make a success over the past 15 years. The Asfours immigrated from Egypt more than 20 years ago. They ended up working 7 days a week, up to 16 hours a day at the Moses Lake store.
After all these years of hard work, it's time to let go.
The unrelenting gas station work schedule took a toll on the Asfours. They wanted more family time.
We come in the morning, we open the store, we stay here until closing time.
So they sold the business to Balbir Mann, who owns 3 other gas stations and convenience stores in central Washington. His son Sarpreet is taking over management of the Moses Lake Texaco on Mayors Road near Kittleson Road and Interstate 90. Mann said the Asfors managed the store well and it was a good investment. The Asfors customers of many years wish them well, telling them they will be missed. Erica Martell of Moses Lake was one of the Asfors regular customers.
I'm going to miss them a lot. They're great for the community. And they're always having smiles on their faces. So it's going to be hard not seeing them coming in here.
The Asfors came to America as Coptic Christians, a religion that Sarah said was persecuted in Egypt. She said they bought a store in Seattle and left because they did not like the big city. They found Moses Lake through their commercial real estate broker, Dan Fallon, who was on hand this week at the store to see the sale through. Fallon called the Asfors a classic tale of immigrants who found success in America.
To me, this is another example of the great immigrant story. It's the great American dream that these guys have lived. It's part of the reason why I like doing what I do, because since we specialize in gas stations, we see a lot of immigrant families, like both this seller and the buyer, who came here with nothing. They really came here with nothing, and now you see John and with their two kids going to University of Washington, both of them going to medical school. I mean, that's just a great feel-good story.
Their sons, David and John Paul, grew up in the store helping their parents and attended Moses Lake High School. David is going to medical school in Seattle, and John Paul is in San Francisco attending dental school. David says he'll miss the store, but has plans to return to Moses Lake as a doctor.
Oh, we all got something from it. We became very open with everybody. Everybody gained something, so it was an amazing thing for us.
Sarah Asfors said her family can now experience an American tradition.
We didn't know what mean weekend. Now we're gonna know what mean weekend.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
We'll be right back.
Quincy Foods, LLC, a subsidiary of Norpac Foods, is seeking motivated individuals to fill the positions of general laborer for their corn harvest season. They have full-time seasonal openings, must be 18 years old and older, willing to work swing shift. Great people to work for in a challenging food processing environment. Apply at 222 Columbia Way in Quincy between 8 and 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, or online through WorkSource. Quincy Foods is an equal opportunity employer.
Welcome back. The next story is about National Night Out in Moses Lake, where hundreds of people enjoyed some free entertainment while learning about crime prevention. Reporter Joe Utter has the story.
Hundreds of people turned out for Moses Lake's National Night Out on Tuesday night for some fun and games, while at the same time learning more about crime prevention. St. Gaius Square was packed with activities from a free barbecue and ice cream, a bouncy house, balloons, live music, and of course, a dunk tank, where kids of all ages lined up to dunk acting Fire Chief Brett Bastian and Police Chief Dave Ruffin. Ruffin explained why the annual event continues to grow each year.
First of all, we'd like to thank the community for coming out to the National Night event. I think this is either our 5th or 6th year. The first year we did it, unfortunately, we only had about 20 or 25 people show up, but as you can see, there's probably several hundred people here tonight, and so it's been a great turnout. And of course, we couldn't do it without the partners that we have here in Moses Lake, and so we've got a lot of booths set up, everything from the Columbia Basin Karate Team to OIC to New Hope to Samaritan Healthcare. I mean, there's just lots of different people that came out to help put this on, and Youth Dynamics is here helping do the barbecue, and of course we've got a band, local band here that's providing the music, and in my background over here we've got the Sydney vehicle, so we've got a driving while impaired vehicle to show people the perils of drinking and driving, and so yeah, it's been great. So.
Set up along the sidewalks were information booths on crime prevention, the dangers of alcohol or drugs, and information from several community resources. The event gives people a chance to speak with police officers in a non-formal setting, away from emergency lights and sirens. Ruffin said the event offers a good time for the entire community, but also brings people together to discuss crime prevention.
National Night Out is a national event. It's put on, it's generally that first Tuesday in August. Some of the communities, such as Quincy, actually had their event last night, and then they'll continue to do smaller events through the week. But It's to bring the community together to talk about crime prevention. It's a good opportunity to meet your neighbors, meet the downtown business people, and be concerned about crime, be concerned about what's going on and how they can make a difference. So,
for more information on crime prevention resources available in Moses Lake, people can contact Olivia Martinez at 509-764-3887. This is Joe Utter for iFIBER 1 News.
Rounding out this week's news coverage is a story about Saturday's Rubber Duck Derby benefiting the Boys and Girls Club of the Columbia Basin. Reporter Jeff Chu has the details.
The 4th annual Rubber Duck Derby to benefit the Boys and Girls Club of the Columbia Basin is set for Saturday. The event runs from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Cascade Park in Moses Lake. The Duck Derby offers food, games, and activities before the Derby and $1,500 cash to the winning duck. More than 50 other prizes go to people who place in the race. Ducks can be purchased with one costing $5, 5 costing $20, and 25 ducks for $100. They can be purchased at Horizon Credit Union in Ephrata and Moses Lake and at Safeway stores in Moses Lake and Ephrata. The downtown Boys and Girls Clubhouse at 410 West 3rd Avenue in Moses Lake is also selling ducks. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
That wraps up our weekend edition for iFIBER 1 News. We'll be back on Monday at 5 p.m. with the latest news from around the Columbia Basin. Thank you for watching.